barakatuhu. Alhamdulillah. Dear family Islam, we thank Allah Tabarak ar-Rahman, and send blessing upon His Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless us all. Ameen. Alhamdulillah. A very important piece of information that is worthy of us hearing about it, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Something very, very important. It is always a worthy of notes for us to have in mind that privacy at times is part of our priority. Not only at times, but all times sometimes. It's part of our priority. But it is always necessary to be private. Sometimes you isolate yourself by saying, no, nobody should see me. Yes, you're in private. Sometimes you put your phone on lock by password, by PIN, by code, by pattern. All is part and parcel of what we call privacy. But is it really necessary for a husband being in a house with the phone locked without the wife knowing the password, or vice versa? The wife having the phone locked without the husband knowing the password? That should be a call to concern and a topic of another day, whether or not it is of use to be like that. Whether you or your father, you as a father, having your phone locked from your children, it is also a concern and something we need to talk about. Nonetheless, having your phone blocked or locked from your family member having access to it should be the concern of that family and their understanding. Whether it is the wife or the husband or the father doing so against the children, because at times the children can be the concern problem here. But that notwithstanding, what about the situation of an emergency that they need an access to your phone? Maybe a sudden sort of illness that maybe you are unable to move your body again, but your phone needs to be manipulated. How will they access your phone to call? How will your wife access your phone to call? Maybe she is not having access to a credit to call from her phone, or maybe she is not actually having a phone like in other families. Vice versa, the husband. Or it's happened in a situation where an accident occurred, where none of your family members is present, and maybe there's no ID card or something similar. How is it going to be? Remember, the life of a person is at risk at this time around, and therefore a soul will need to be saved. What if the phone is locked? What do we do? That is the question. Here, there are two things, or there are two possibilities that can access this problem, or that can solve this problem. There are two possibilities that can solve this problem. The first of all is the concern of removing the SIM card from the person's phone to use it in your phone. Removing the person's SIM card is to access the contact saved within the SIM card. That is why it's worthy of note for us to know that saving the contacts on a SIM card is very, very important. Remember, the world of today, we call it the Android world or the Android generation of our days today. Vast majority of us today save contacts on Google. Is that bad? No, it's not bad. It saves your contacts and maintain the contact for a long amount of time. But the concern is it really necessary keeping your SIM cards isolated, leaving empty without any contact? What about a situation like this? How will you be traced? How will you be traced? That is why, to save some important contacts, let's see, your wife contact, your caretaker contact, your brother, your sister, someone related to you, someone who knows you closely, it will be very, very important. Because when this SIM card will be removed and placed in a different phone, it will reveal that contact there will be called to inform that, do you know such and such? This is what is happening. Maybe your phone got missing. You need to obtain back your phone. Remember, as a good Samaritan, when you picked up a phone on the roadside, it's not for you, it's not meant to be yours. Try as much as possible to refund it back to the person, to return it back to the person. Money, the same thing. As a good Samaritan, not only because you're a Muslim, but as a Muslim, that is your duty. When that be the case, this is the first way to access the person. Remove the SIM cards, call the number you see, and try to identify the person. By so doing, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, you get back to the person. or you get back to someone who knows the person who can help the situation. What about the second situation? There's a second step or second measure,
which is
that
the
can be
emergency
taken.
method. This shall be shown in a demo as we see, inshallah.
That be the case, you will see the phone locked. What do? Slice up. Behave as you want to put a part. It does not go. It rejects. It does not go. It rejects. What do? Press the emergency button once. You see where they call emergency under. You see emergency will appear. And now, if there has been a number saved in this phone, it's going to appear here as the owner. If it doesn't, then double tap the emergency info. Double tap the emergency info, it will open. This one has been set in a way that they should not open if you regulate it by yourself. So when you double tap here, it immediately opens to those numbers that were meant to be here. Then you dial the number directly with the phone. If they have been included in that phone, it will just ring directly to the owner or the person you intend calling. If not, then you can use the number to contact, to dial within your own phone to access the person. There is a different concern, which is the third way of accessing this phone without the consent of the person is by you calling the nearest police station. Calling the nearest police station still using the emergency number. Now, what do? You slice up as if you want to unlock the phone. Go to the emergency, then go to the emergency, dial 117. When you dial 117 and ring as a call, it's going to go directly to the police and they will answer. It rings and they answer. When it rings and they answer, you speak to them, telling them what is actually the issue. If it's not possible to go, or if you are unable to have them accessibility, then what do? You dial 118, then enter emergency, and there dial 118. This you call those who are in charge of emergency in the name of Sapiable Pay, or those that always lost fire when the house is on fire. Remember, this dialing does not need to get you credit. Whether with credit or without credit, you still happen to go as support. If it's ringing and they will need to answer. When they answer, you tell them your needs and they will actually rush to your help at their app.
And these emergency numbers can be set in all phones, even the small phones. It can actually go. If you do not know how to set these numbers, let us know so we can have the next video on that.
Allah protects us all from instances of such emergency. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.